Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another NBC game of the week. I'm going to try to fit as much as I can and get as close as I can to these cards, but still show everything. So, excuse me while I get everything lined up and see how it's looking. We are at County Stadium in Milwaukee. And starting pitcher matchups in this game, Bill Travers, the left-hander, will start for the Brewers. He was 6-11 with a 4.29 ERA. And the incomparable Nolan Ryan will be on the mound for the Angels. He was 14-12 with a 3.45 ERA. Hello, Mr. Robert. How are you? Hope you're enjoying things from work. Let's see if I can bring this. I don't know if I can bring this. You know what? I think I might move this and bring this in when it's needed. And that way I can put the bullpen right there. Maybe that'll work better. Let's see, because that will show. I think that will show what I need it to show. Or what I would like it to show, actually. Line score still shows, so that's pretty good. Gotta get the dice tray all the way in. That's the only other problem. So I think the dice tray is going to be good right there. Hello, Brian B. Now there's the DH, so there are no double switches. If you want to preview RJL of the outfielder arms, that's the fact. Those are the factors. Take some of this glare off of here. Maybe that would help. I don't know. But anyway, those are the outfield factors. Briggs in left is a +1, Lescano is a -1 in right, and Thomas is a 0 in center for Milwaukee. Collins is a +1 in left for the Angels. Stanton in right field is a 0, and Mickey Rivers in center is a -1. So those are the factors there. Hello, Turbocharged and Kenyon. How are you both doing? Hope your Saturday is going well. So I'm going to keep this off to the side, and I'll bring it in if need be. Well, if it makes sense to put anywhere else. I don't know where else I can put it where you guys can see it, but it's, let's see, I guess I can put it maybe like right there. I don't know. Maybe that's a good spot for it. I'm just trying to finagle everything into place. Do have the best I can do for the colored dice of Milwaukee. We have the yellow, the white, and the blue, which hopefully is that Milwaukee colors. So let me see here real quick and get. The actual game was won by Milwaukee 6-4 over the Angels. This game was played June 14th, 1975 on a Saturday. All right, so hopefully everything is showing up okay. Look one more time in the, well, not getting the county stadium the way I want it because I can see the results, but I can't see the word county stadium. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I don't really have another place I can put it. Well, you know what I can do? I guess I could put county stadium right there. Let's see how that plays out. That way you can see county stadium. If I can get my focus to work. Check one more thing before we get going to make sure I'm where I want to be. It's looking a little blurry for some reason. I don't know why. I'm trying to get the focus to work best I can. Realize it's only 720p, but it still looks awful fuzzy, and I don't know why it looks fuzzy, but it does. I don't know why it's doing this. Trying to correct the focus on this thing. Maybe that's better. Hopefully that's better. Turbo, if you leave me your email in the comments, I can email you an Excel template for all this stuff. It'll be pre-filled with information, but all you have to do is edit it, change the team colors and logos, but all the widths of the columns and the rows and everything would be all preset. So if you wanted to do that, just send me put it in the comments, or if you would prefer not to do that, then do this here really quick like. find the spot here. Thought I had something in front of me, but I guess I didn't. Let's try this. Let's do this way and see how that works. And yes, I am old school, very old school. So that's my email address. If it's illegible, it is my first name, David, the letter A, 5205 at AOL.com. Send me an email. Ask me for the templates for how I make these lineup grids, and I will be happy to send them to you. I have 3 sets. I have 1975 Game of the Week that I'm doing. I have the 1993 ESPN Game of the Week, Sunday Night Baseball that I'm doing, and the 2022 Yankees. So that is, you can do that if you would like. Just give you a preview of what's upcoming, and I've already printed these out, just haven't cut them yet. But the next 2 weeks, we're going to be in St. Louis and in New York. We'll be doing double switches galore in those games. Cubs will be playing the Cardinals, Rick Russell against Bob Gibson. And then Phillies at the Mets, Steve Carlton against, I think his name is Randy Tate. I don't know what his first name is. I know his last name's Tate. But that is the pitching matchup for the next couple weeks. And if you want to get even further down the line, these are the line score templates I have, and Cubs and Cardinals, Phillies, Mets, White Sox, Royals, Rangers, Red Sox, and then the All-Star game, which, by the way, the All-Star game will be played right there at County Stadium. So let's see. Did I mess up the focus again when I put the chart in there? I thought Tim said I had it good, but now it looks like it may be messed up again. So let's see if I can get this thing to click in place for me. Well, he didn't pitch on Saturday, RJO. I have to go by this. It's a game of the week on Saturday, not any old game of the week, but at least they're there. You're Randy Tate. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. I guess the focus is about as good as it's going to get. Remember, I'm only doing 720p on live through my phone, so until when and if I upgrade to an actual camera, then 720 is best I'm going to do on the live shows. 1080 on the recordings and 720 on the live presentations. All right, so I think that's the best I'm going to get. Nolan Ryan's out of the picture, but he's not pitching, so you don't need to worry about that. Again, we've got the grids here for the running, so that when the base running play comes up, and you can thank RJL for this, that's his template that I just used, or basically copied it best I could from watching him. So that's the template, so that we don't have to do a whole lot of calculations during the game itself. Tate will be okay. Well, he's going to have to be, because he's the one that's assigned to start. And I'm thinking, was Yogi Berra, was he the manager in 75? I guess he was the best manager in 75, best I can recall. All right, so I guess without further ado, we will get this ball rolling. Bill Travers, the left-hander, loosening up and getting things ready. And Jerry Remy, before he would later go to the Red Sox, he is with the California Angels. And let's see if I can get this off of here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right. So we're ready to roll. That is a 6-1, and on Travers, that's a strikeout chance. 10 for Remy, he's only a 7. Stadium actually takes one away, makes it a 6, so no strikeout. 2-6, and that's a single to center field for Jerry Remy. So Jerry Remy will start out the ball game with a base hit. He does have a pretty good attempt of 7. See if he can get a jump. He gets an 8, so it's a possible hit and run for Mickey Rivers if we wanted to go that route. Mickey Rivers doesn't strike out very much at all, so we're going to do the hit and run. We're going to go ahead and go with the hit and run. Hello, Doug. How you doing? So hit and run is called. Travers the pitch first of all. 5-1, and that's a potential strikeout, but 16 is way too high for that. So Mickey Rivers will swing on the hit and run. 2-6, and it's a fly to center field, so it's all for naught as Remy will have to scoop back to first base, and Mick the Quick is out of there, flying to Gorman Thomas. Now this next guy, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I think it's Winston Yanez. I'm assuming he's Hispanic, and usually when I took Spanish, the double L's kind of pronounced like a Y. So I'm thinking it's Yanez. It could be Lanus, but I'm thinking it's Yanez. But it's a guy I've never really heard of that much before. So if anybody knows for sure, they can let me know. But I'm going to go with Yanez until I'm told otherwise. Strategy roll for Remy. This time he will get the jump. So Remy has an attempt of 12, or stolen base rating of 12. Travers takes away 2, makes it a 10. And catcher arm, Daryl Porter's a -1 to make it a 9. So do they want to send him a 1 to 9? It's only a 45% chance. Well, they really want him in scoring position, so they're going to send him 1 to 9. And he's out. So Jerry Remy, maybe not the wisest of moves, but try to get aggressive and just didn't work out. And with 2 away, now Yanez will bat with the bases clear. All right, thank you, Tim. 1-5 is a range play at the ballpark, so let's bring County Stadium in a little bit closer. Range play at the ballpark. 3-5, and that is a ground ball to third, so we're checking the range of the third baseman. That just happens to be Tim Johnson. His range is a 2, so not very good. But he makes the play anyway, so how about that? Tim Johnson takes care of it. Yanez is retired, 5-3, and the inning is over. So it looked good with the leadoff single from Remy, but the caught stealing kind of took all the momentum away. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is California nothing, and Milwaukee coming to bat to face the Ryan Express, Nolan Ryan. And he'll be facing a young Robin Yount. Two Hall of Famers. In 75, obviously future Hall of Famers, but 2 Hall of Famers nonetheless. 5-1's a walk chance. 7, he walks at a 6. The stadium adds 1, so it will be a walk. So thanks to County Stadium, Robin Yount will draw the leadoff walk. So he's aboard. His attempt is a 3, 2 plus the 1 from Ryan. 7, nothing happening. So Sixto Lezcano will step to the plate. Ryan, 1-3, possible error. Lezcano, 6-2, a liner right to first. There are no errors on the line drives. However, it's a potential double play, especially with the ball with a runner on first. So, a line drive that is hit to first base with a runner on first, it's a 1-4 for a double play. So, if this is anything other than a 5 or 6, Robin Yount is doubled off. And it's a 3, so he will get doubled off on the line drive. So Lezcano trying to hit behind the runner, lines it hard to first. Bhakti snags it, steps on the bag. It's a liner to third, 3 unassisted double play, and 2 quick outs. Just that quickly, the threat is almost done away with. And here is George Scott. 5-5, it's a walk chance, and he will draw the walk. So George Scott, a 2-out walk. Second walk issued by Ryan. Scott with an attempt of 2, but nothing's happening. And here comes some guy named Hank Aaron, designated hitter. Ryan to Aaron, 3-1 is a blank to a righty. 3-1 again, it's a ground ball back to Ryan, and that's going to end the inning. For the Brewers, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. One inning is in the books here at County Stadium, and we have no score. And we go to the top of the second. Bill Travers will finish up his tosses. And I was thinking when I got that new card for Jerry Park in 1975 that I wasn't going to be doing any more Expos games of the week on Saturday anyway. I looked at my schedule and I am incorrect. The first game after the All-Star break is the Cincinnati Reds at Montreal. So that'll be the first game out of the break, so I'll be able to use my Jerry Park card. Thanks to Chris and to RJL for that. All right, so Travers will be facing Leroy Stanton, right fielder. Travers, 5-1, strikeout chance 10, got him. Leroy Stanton. One away. Stanton with the whiff. Brings up Dave Chalk. I'm running a lot of 5-1s for some reason. Another strikeout chance, but 15 is too high. If I can get off the 5-1 bandwagon. 5-2. Okay, I got a 5-1 with the 5-2. It's a pop up to second. Remy puts it away. 2 down. Not Remy, I'm sorry. Make that Pedro Garcia. It's not not an inter-squad game, so it is Pedro Garcia at second base. All right. Bhakti. 5-4. Boy, I'm in column 5 a lot. That's a blank. We go to Bhakti. 6-3. It's a single past third base. So Bruce Bhakti goes the opposite way for a 2-out single. Keeps the inning going for catcher Ellie Rodriguez. Bhakti an attempt of 1, but nothing happening. No pickoff attempts on the card for Travers or Vaux. 2-1, and that's an automatic out on a star line. Let's see what the final out is. It is a ground ball to second, and Garcia will just throw to first for the easy play. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left for California. We go to the bottom of the second. It is still no score. Now I'm upstairs here and it's a little warm, so I do have a window unit running in the background, so I don't know if you guys can hear that or whether it's annoying or whether it's distracting. If it's real bad, I can always turn it off, but I've got Tabby up here and I've got Gracie up here, so I really like to keep it cool for them if at all possible. So hopefully the noise isn't either discernible, or if it is, it's not over the top bad. All right, John Briggs rather, will be leading off for Milwaukee. And he came over to trade from Minnesota. Ryan, 1-6. Ballpark, we're going back to County Stadium for the ballpark card for John Briggs. 2-3, and it's a rare play. How about that? Didn't have a rare play last Saturday. All right, thank you, Brian B. Good to know. Rare play with nobody on base. And this is one area of the game that I would like to see Chris maybe upgrade in the future and make it sort of like the way Payoff Pitch did theirs, where it's done by, maybe do it by base running situation like Replay does it, perhaps. I don't know, but just something a little bit more stout than this. But I mean, this is good for now, but if anything can be improved, I think this would be the next step to improving the game engine. All right, so rare play time. 32, grounder to second, who throws in the dirt, making the first baseman scoop the ball. Resolved using a range play. Check to see if the first baseman scoops the ball, otherwise this is an E4. All right, so the first baseman is Bruce Bhakti. His range is only a 2, so if he doesn't scoop this, it's going to be an error. And it will be. So John Briggs will reach on the error by the second baseman, Jerry Remy. E4, as Bhakti was not able to recover in time to do anything. Especially Turbo, I'm upstairs, so you know how heat rises in a 2-story house. I mean, heat will rise to the highest level. So, I mean, the first floor is nice and cool, but sometimes with this window unit in this one window in this one room, there's no airflow anywhere. I do have a ceiling fan, but it still gets warm up here. So, mainly for the benefit of the animals, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I could survive without it, but I don't want them up here panning or having issues. So. All right, so Daryl Porter, let's see. Briggs reached on the error, so we did the strategy roll. Nothing happened. Ryan to Porter. 4-4, and that is a ballpark chance again. So we're going to the ballpark for the 3rd time already for Daryl Porter. 5-3, and that's a star line 2, which is a fly to center field, and there's one away. So Porter is retired, and that brings up second baseman Pedro Garcia. Again, Briggs with the strategy. That's a 19. I know it's hard to read it, but there's a 19 there, so nothing happening. Garcia's not going to bunt when there's already one out. So Ryan 4-5, and that's a walk plus, and that's an 11. So he will walking. Briggs will take second base. Garcia to first. That's the third walk already for Nolan Ryan, so he is having some control issues already. Kunkel, the home plate umpire, is squeezing him a bit. And here's Storman Gorman Thomas. 14, nothing happening. Ryan to Thomas. 4-3, and that is a strikeout. I'm sorry, no, it's an error on the ground ball. I was looking at 3-3. 4-3 is a possible error on the ground ball. Ryan does not have a strikeout yet, which is very unusual. 2-3, it's a fly to left, so no error on the ground ball, obviously. But 2 away, as Thomas is retired. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Tim Johnson. Third baseman in this game. Strategy roll for Ryan on the pickoff chance. Nothing happening. Ryan to Johnson, 5-4. It's the pitcher result, double question mark. 1-8 against a lefty is an automatic out, but that's a 20, so treat it as a blank and let Johnson swing away. 1-3, it's a ground ball to second, and the inning is over. And when I mentioned about the rare play, it's not a ding on the game. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that if they wanted to try to, improve it just a little bit more, there's not a whole lot in this game that needs improvement. But if I had to pick one thing, I would say it's the rare play. I don't know if RGL agrees with that or not, but that's just what I see on that. All right, we go to the third inning. My other improvement, I won't even mention it because it's been the horse has been beaten to death, so I'm not even going to bother with it. So let's see, for the game, for this inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left. So we go to the third, no score, and Billy Smith will lead off for the Angels. Travers, 4-1 is a strikeout chance. Billy Smith against a lefty strikes out at 11. That's a 13, so no strikeout. Billy Smith will swing. 6-3, it's a single past second base for Billy Smith. So Billy Smith, third hit of the game for the Angels. Second one that was a leadoff single. And Dave Collins, the number 9 hitter, is up. Smith has a 2 for a strategy roll. And that's a 9, nothing happening. So Travers to Collins, infield halfway. 5-3, and that is a blank. We go to Dave Collins, switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Travers. 1-1, and against the lefty Travers, that's a fly to center against a right-handed pitcher. That would have been a double. But for Collins, he flies to center field, and that is out number 1. Lineup will flip over to Jerry Remy. Remy singled and was caught stealing his first time up. Strategy roll again. 5, nothing happened. Travers, 5-1, strikeout chance, and he got him. So Remy is out on strikes for out number 2. And that'll bring up Mick the Quick. He lined into that, or he flew to center his first time up, rather. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Mick the Quick trying to get something going. Travers, 4-1's a strikeout chance, but that's too high. So Mickey swing away, 5-4, grounds it to short, and that's going to end the inning. We'll just say he throws to first to keep it simple. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the third here in Milwaukee, and we've got no scores still. Both pitchers doing well. Ryan back out, still has no strikeouts through 2 innings, which is a little bit unusual. Does have 3 walks. Vodka Collins, maybe, that's interesting. Tom Collins, is that what that reference is for? I'm not sure. I'm not an alcohol aficionado. Let's see, Robin Yount will lead off the bottom of the third. 4-4, and we're back to the ballpark. For the fourth time in this game, we are back to the ballpark. Robin Yount will swing on the ballpark. 3-3, it's a home run check to center field. That's a 2. His home run's a 5. It is long and it is gone. Robin Yount takes the fastball from Nolan Ryan and sends it to straightaway center field. All Mick the Quick could do is look at it, and it is long and it is gone. Home run for Robin Yount. Puts the Brewers ahead 1-0. And Nolan Ryan is not too happy about it. Wouldn't want to be Sixto Lezcano. He might be looking to throw an inside pitch to Sixto. 3-5. That's a strikeout plus, and he comes back and strikes out Sixto Lezcano. Maybe a modicum of revenge. Gets his first strikeout of the game. And that will send up George Scott. Hank Aaron is on deck. Scott walked his first chance. Ryan, 1-4 is another strikeout, and he got him. So all of a sudden, that home run must have woken up Nolan Ryan. He has struck out the last 2 he has faced. And now Hank Aaron is up. And Hank Aaron grounded back to Ryan his first time. 2-4, and that's a possible error on a throw. So we go to Hank Aaron. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to third, but it's a possible error on the throw. That's a 7. Third baseman for the Angels is Dave Chalk, but Dave Chalk's error rating is only a 5, so he will not make the error. He will make the play, and that's going to retire the side. But the run scores on the homer, a run, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. At the end of 3 is the Brewers 1 and the Angels nothing. Like I said, the Brewers won this game in real life. Let's see if this holds to form. Bill Travers back out. And leading off for the Angels will be Mr. Yannis. Winston Yannis. He played everywhere. First, second, third, and left field. Not very good, though. 186 average. So I guess he's in there against the lefty. 6-6 is a walk chance. 11 will not do it. He's a 9. Stadium adds 1, but that comes up 1 short. So he won't get the benefit of the base on the free pass. So he will have to swing for himself and try to earn it. And he doesn't. He lines it hard, but right to the shortstop. Robin Yount. Johnny on the spot. 1 down. And here is Leroy Stanton. Struck out his first chance. Hello, Dwayne. How you doing? Travers 6-3 is a walk plus, and so Leroy Stanton given the free pass. Yannis couldn't get it, but Leroy Stanton got it. He's on with Dave Chalk stepping to the plate. Stanton, an attempt of 4. 20s, but there's no pickoff chances for Travers, so nothing's going to happen. Travers, 4-1's a strikeout chance. 14 is too high. We go to Chalk. 1-2 is a fly to left field. That is out number 2. So Chalk is retired. That brings up Bruce Bhakti. Lefty on lefty matchup. Looks like on the card here, Bhakti held his own against lefties. Strategy roll 1, so Stanton does have a chance to steal. He's a 15. -2 from Travers is a 13. -1 from Porter is a 12. But with 2 outs to get in scoring position would be huge. So 1-12 they'll send him. And he's out again. Boy, Darryl Porter is 2 for 2 on throwing out base runners. So Stanton is gunned down out there, caught stealing. As Yount applied the tag to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Brew Crew, and Darryl Porter says, "Don't run on me." Angels haven't listened yet. They're over 2 on those attempted steals. So now, coming up for the Brew Crew, it'll be Dan Briggs. He reached on the Remy error his first time up. So was stranded at second base. Ryan, 6-6, strikeout chance 12. Will not get him. He's a 9. Stadium even subtracts 1, makes him an 8, so will not strike out. Briggs will swing 3-2, and he flies to right, and that'll be out number 1. 1 out, and that brings up Darryl Porter, who is throwing out 2 base runners with his -1 arm and some good D20 rolls. Ryan, 3-3 against a lefty. It's a blank. So go to Porter. 4-6. He's going to pop it up to first, and that is 2 down. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Pedro Garcia. Hoping for a close game in this one, and so far it's turned out to be that way. Ryan, 3-1, blank to a right-hander, so we'll go to Garcia. 4-3, and that's a question mark 7. Against a right-hander, he needs a 1 through 5, but that's a 14, so it's simply a fly to left. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Ryan Express. 4 innings in the books here at County Stadium. It's still 1-0 Brew Crew. And Nolan Ryan can face 31 batters, so he's not going to be tired anytime soon. Travers can face 24. That's still a pretty decent amount. So fatigue doesn't seem to be an issue at the moment as we start the 5th, which is nice because when I'm doing my Yankee replay, by the time I get to the 5th inning, I got to start checking fatigue on all these pitchers. So the older game gives you more depth of starting pitching. All right, Bruce Bhakti is up. He was at the plate when Stanton got caught stealing. So we'll try again. 2-2. Home run question mark against a left-hander. It's a 1 through 5. That's an 8 though, so it fails. So Bhakti cannot get the home run, but he will swing. 2-4. He's going to ground it right back to Bill Travers for an easy play. 1 down, and that's going to send up the catcher, Ellie Rodriguez. Grounded to second his first time up. Travers, 3-3. It's a straight up home run chance. No question marks, no nothing. Straight up home run. Rodriguez is a 5, but that's an 18. So it fails, but he does get to swing. But he does fail in the home run check. 6-1 is the star 6. That's a fly to right field, and that's out number 2. As it's hauled in out there by the right fielder, Lescano. So 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up Billy Smith. Switch hitting shortstop. Who would later go to the Orioles for a short time. He singled his first time up. 1-5. That's a range play at the ballpark. So again, we're at County Stadium for a range check. 2-3, and it's another rare play, so that eliminates the range check, but we go straight to the rare play. Base is empty. Second rare play of the game. After having none last week, this is the second one. We get a 14. 14 says, and bring it up for you. 14 says, right fielder dives after sinking liner. Resolve as an S9 range play and check for injury. All right, so an S9 range play. The right fielder is Lescano. So let's bring Lescano in since he might be injured as well. His range is a 3. So he can't get to it. It's going to drop. Let's see here. It says resolve as an S9 range play, so we're not checking about doubles or anything. We just know it's a single for Billy Smith. Now the question is Lescano going to be injured enough to leave the game? His injury rating is a 3, and on the chart, a 3 injury rating. He's going to be gone regardless, so it doesn't matter. He's going to have to leave. So Lescano will have to leave the ball game, and we will need a new right fielder. So let's see who the Brewers have on the bench that they can use. They've got Charlie Moore can play right field. Bill Sharp can play right field, and actually Bill Sharp's a better fielder. Got a -1 arm, so we're going to use Bill Sharp. He's a left-handed hitter as well, so that might bode well against Nolan Ryan. So Lescano is out of there. Sharp is now your new right fielder. And now Tabby wants to get in the way for some reason. So Billy Smith will single. He's 2 for 2. And Bill Sharp will take over hitting the number 2 spot. and play right field for the injured Lascano. Now that's going to bring up Dave Collins, the number 9 hitter. Check Billy Smith for an attempt, which is a 2, but he doesn't get one. So Collins, the batter. Travers. 3-2 is a blank. We go to Collins. 2-6 is a star. 4. It's ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. Remy will just throw it to first to take care of it easily. Not Remy, Garcia. I keep saying Remy. It's Garcia. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 1-0. Brew Crew, although they did lose Sixto Lascano for the rest of the game. All right, bottom of the 5th we go. Nolan Ryan back out, looking for run support and not getting it. Tabby, boy, she just under the table here, rubbing against me like she wants attention, but I'm gonna keep focused. All right. Trying to watch the chat as best I can, but sometimes I start playing this game, I get involved, and I just almost forget there's a chat going on. But I'll check once in a while. Not trying to ignore anybody by any means. So I will eventually get to it if I don't get to it, right when you say something. So bear with me on that. So Stormin Gorman Thomas will lead off against Nolan Ryan. Thomas flew to left field his first chance. 4-5. That is a potential walk plus, and it is a walk plus. So Stormin Gorman will draw the walk, and that is walk number 4 issued by Nolan Ryan. So the Angels have issued 4 walks and committed an error, so not the cleanest game in the world by them. Tim Johnson's up now. Strategy roll for Gorman Thomas. 5, nothing's happening. Well, infield is halfway. Ryan, 1-2 is a range play at the ballpark. So we're going back to the ballpark for a range play. If it's to an infielder, then the infielders are halfway, and that will take some of the range away. 2-3, and we're back to the rare play again. Do you believe that? 3rd time I've rolled that 2-3 on the ballpark check. So yet again, another range play. This one with people on base, though. The other 2 were bases empty. This is men on base. So the range play is taken away. It's simply a rare play with runners on base. And then we get a 34. So a 34 says, if runner on first, single to right field with runner attempting to go to third on a close play. Well, we just happen to run on first, so how about that? Let's see here. Roll 1d6 versus the base running plus right fielder arm. If higher, out, otherwise safe, check injuries to runner and third baseman. So it's a double injury check to the runner and to the third baseman, chalk. So Thomas and Chalk both could be injured. But right now we're looking at a single to right field. So we got a single to right field. We know Tim Johnson's going to make it to first on a single. Gorman Thomas is trying to go to third. He's a 3, but on singles to right field to get to third base when California is in the field, it's a +2. So Gorman Thomas there has a 5. So if it's not a 6, he will make it. So he does. So he makes it to third. Slid in hard, but now there's a double injury check, 1 on Gorman Thomas and 1 on the third baseman, Dave Chalk. So we'll bring Dave Chalk into the equation. First, we will check Gorman Thomas. His injury rating is a 6, and he's definitely out of there. You don't have to roll for anything. He's definitely out of there. So Thomas will have to be replaced. Chalk has an injury rating of 2, so if we roll a 1, he can stay in the game. Otherwise, he's got to come out. So he's got to come out as well. So both players, this is looking more like the Demolition League with all these injuries. So let's write down what happened here first. Johnson singles, Thomas goes to third. So runners are on the corners with nobody out. And now we need new center fielder for the Brewers. And we need a new third baseman for Milwaukee. So who's going to play center field is the question. Who they have that's available. See here. They could move Sharp from right field to center field if they so chose, and then bring in another right fielder, which in this case would be Charlie Moore or Mike Hegan. Either one, they both could do it. Charlie Moore's got better range. So I think that's what we're going to do. Charlie Moore is going to come in and play right field. So Moore will play right field. Sharp will move to center. Moore will come in and play right field. So Moore is now your right fielder, and now we need to and he's also the runner on third base. And now we need a new third baseman for the Angels. And hey Joel, how you doing? Yep, Sharp went to center field. Okay, so I need a new third baseman for the Angels. It could be Rudy Mioli, but he's got a 20 error rating, so I'd rather use somebody else. But I might not have any choice. There's nobody left on the bench that can play third. And let's see. Billy Smith is terrible at third as well, so I don't have much choice. I'm going to have to use Rudy Mioli. Rudy Mioli will take over as the third baseman for the injured Chalk. So Mioli is now at third base, and he will be hitting in the number 5 position. So let me update my scorebook for that so I can know who's doing what. And let's see, Thomas, well actually center fielder now is going to be Sharp. And the new right fielder batting in the number 8 position is going to be Charlie Moore. Alright, so those housekeeping things are now done. Alright, so now the Angels have more to worry about though. The Brewers have runners on the corners, nobody out, and they already lead at 1-0, so Nolan Ryan's kind of on the ropes here. Hey Peter, how you doing? Yeah, they also are excellent size for the payoff pitch cards as well. Both of them do very well. I want to say that the season ticket baseball cards are a little bit too big for this. I mean, they might work, but they might be a little too large for that. Replay baseball, payoff pitch, and inside pitch all work for those. Yes, and I got the idea to use this board from RJL. So, and I did find this on eBay. It's very hard to find. If you can find it, good luck. It's a little expensive too. I paid like $20-something for it. I mean, it's an actual game and everything. The other thing you get besides the board are these little card holders, which are really nice. So I can have them standing up, and when I want to look for a player rating, they're already there. I don't have to fumble through the stack, or don't have to write on a score sheet or anything. So to me, these are just as good as the board to be using on those. All right. Let's fix the focus a little bit better here. Okay, all right, best I can do, I guess. All right, so Robin Yount will lead things off now that all the festivities are out of the way. Now, do you play the infield in? You're down 1-0, or do you trust your offense? Could play back for the double play and try to get 2. He's only double play rating of 2 though, so I think they're going to play the infield in. I think they're going to play the infield in and try to choke the runoff. That would drop Charlie Moore to a 1 and basically would freeze him there. He'd have to roll a 1 or a 6 to be safe. So, strategy roll, nothing happened. So Ryan to Yount, he really needs a strikeout. Yount homered against him the last time up, so Ryan, I'm sure, is looking for revenge. 2-3, and that is a walk chance against a right-hander. That's a 9. He only walks at a 6 though, so no walk. That brings up Yount to bat. 3-6, he's going to fly to left. It could be a sacrifice fly. That is out number 1. His sacrifice fly rating is a 2. It is not going to work that way. Charlie Moore is a 3. The arm in left field belongs to Dave Collins, who's a +1, so that makes him a 4. And he cannot make it. He's got a hole. It's a 6. Actually, it means he might be out. So let's go to our chart with a +1 arm, and I'm using this chart right here. With a +1 arm on a 1 or a 2, we go to this third die roll. 3 through 6, the runner just holds. It's a 1, so we go to the third die chart. You know, I did not do that yet. That's a good reminder. That's a good reminder, Brian B. I need to do that actually. But it doesn't affect this play because the left fielder is still the same. But we went to the third die roll, so we're going to come over here. For roll of 1, the lead runner advances, the ball is cut off and the trailing runner is thrown out. 2 through 5, the lead runner is thrown out, and if roll is higher than trail runner's base running rate, they hold, otherwise they advance. If it's 6, then we got a rundown potentially. So it's a 6, so we're looking at a rundown. I know it's in purple, it's hard to see, but we're in the rundown section. 1, runner out quickly, no other advance. 2 through 5, out. If roll higher than BR of runner, out. If roll higher than BR of runner, out. No advance for others. 6, he scores. So let's see what happens. It's a 3. So since it's a 3, it says out. If roll higher than base running of runner, out. That's kind of confusing. No advance for others. He is a 3, it's not higher, but he is out. So does that mean no one else advanced? Otherwise, all runners advance 1 base during rundown. Alright, so since the die is not higher than Charlie Moore's thing, I'm taking it to mean that he stayed in the rundown long enough to allow Tim Johnson to go to second. That's my take on it, so I'm thinking that's what happened. If RJL or somebody else can maybe correct me on that if I'm wrong, I don't know. I know if he's at work, he doesn't have his charts in front of him, it might be a little hard, but that's what I'm going to go with. So Yount flies into the double play. Second double play he's been involved with. He got picked off first on the line drive by Lascano in the first inning. Now he's a fly ball to left that Charlie Moore is out, and now it's going to, it's a rundown, so we're going to call it 7 to 2 to 5. But on the rundown, Tim Johnson was able to go to second base. So I'm sure all that was clear as mud. And Charlie Moore now is out on the sacrifice fly attempt, and all of a sudden it's looking better for Nolan Ryan. He got 2 quick outs. Wait a minute, you said the runner scores and the trail runner's in the rundown? Is that what it is, RJL? Because it says clearly up here, it says out. 2 to 5, he's out. And it says if roll higher than base running of runner, out. So it's kind of confusing the way they got it worded here. When I first read this, it leads me to believe that the runner on third is out all the way. You're saying that's not the case. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry, I did play it wrong. The lead runner actually advances on it. The purple was hard to read on this little chart, so it was a sacrifice fly. My bad. It was a sacrifice fly, so the run does score. Moore does score. My bad. It's Johnson that's in the rundown, and his BR is a 4. We rolled a 3. Let's see here. Oh, it's just caught in a rundown, so it's a rundown chart. If roll is higher than BR, runners out, no advance for others, otherwise 1. So I'm going to say since his BR is a 4 and I rolled a 3, then to me he gets second base. So to me he would be safe at second base in the rundown. So hopefully I did that correctly. So I'm calling it a sacrifice fly from Robin Yount to score Charlie Moore. Tim Johnson was on first. He went to second, got caught in a rundown, but since his BR was a 4 and I rolled a 3, he should be safe. Hey DJ, how you doing? So I'm thinking we're down to just 1 out. So I'm thinking he's actually safe at second on the rundown, the way I got it, because I rolled a 3 on the check and he's a BR of 4. So I'm thinking that's the way it's supposed to go. Hopefully. Like I said, I can't be perfect on this because I don't play it all the time. So basically playing it once a week. So okay, thank you, Brian B. Appreciate that. All right, so the run scores is 2-0 Brewers. Johnson safe at second. Still only 1 out for Bill Sharp. Strategy roll for Ryan after all the mess. Ryan, 5-3 is a blank. We go to Bill Sharp. 1-5, star line 2, which is a fly to center field. That's 2 down. Let's see if the runner can advance. He's a 4. But to go from second to third, you lose 2, drops him to a 2. The center fielder arm, who is now Bill Sharp, I'm sorry, the center fielder arm is still Rivers, who was a -1. So that would knock him down to a 1. So this has to be a 1 for him to make it to third base. And it's not, so he's got to hold. So not deep enough to send him to third base. 2 down. And now the boomer, George Scott, he's walked and struck out. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Ryan only has 2 strikeouts during the 5th inning, very unusual. 6-3 is a hit by pitch, that's a 10. He's a 3, +5's an 8, but the 10 fails. So the boomer got out of the way just in time. And he will swing. 1-4, it's a question mark 9. Against a right-hander, goes to 17, that's a 3. It'll be a single to right field for George Scott. Johnson runs at a 4, there are 2 outs, makes him a 5. On a single to right, you gain 2, because the right fielder is still Stanton, who's a +1 arm, or 0 arm rather, so you gain 2, so he will score without a throw. And the Brewers now lead it 3-0 on the base hit by George Scott. So it is now 3-0 as Tim Johnson scores. Ryan frustrated, and here comes Hammerin' Hank. Nothing on the strategy roll. 2-4 is a possible throwing error. Aaron, 2-2 is a fly to center, so no throwing error to worry about, and the inning is over. For the Brewers, they get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and looks like 1 left. So we go to the 6th inning with the score 3-0 Milwaukee, as they have the lead on the Angels. And as I mentioned earlier, in the real game, there we go, I just had it in front of me. In the real game, they won 6-4 over the Angels, so not unusual to see them ahead for sure. But I'm sure the Angels have something to say about it, or at least they hope they would have something to say about it. Bill Travers is not exactly a Cy Young candidate, so you got to expect they might start to get to him the 2nd, 3rd time through the order. And we are going 3rd time through the order as Jerry Remy, the leadoff man, will step up. Remy, so far he's singled and caught stealing, and he also struck out. 4-6 is a double question mark. Remy's a lefty. 1-10's an out. That's a 7, so it will be an out for Travers. And it's going to be a fly to right field, put away out there by the right fielder Charlie Moore. And there's 1 out here in the 6th of a 3-0 game. Here's Mick the Quick, Mickey Rivers, 0 for 2. Travers, 4-1 is a strikeout chance, but 16 is way too high. So we go to Rivers. 5-5 is a ground ball to first. George Scott takes it to the bag himself. 2 down. Bill Travers getting it done. Of course, the Angels are not exactly the 27 Yankees either. Here's Winston Yanus. He's 0 for 2. 3-3 is straight up home run. Straight up home run. That's a 7, but Yanus does not have home run power, so here's the swing. 4-4, and it grounds it right back meekly to Bill Travers to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down go the Halos. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-0 Brew Crew. And Nolan Ryan's got to wonder what he's got to do to get some help. He's down 3-0. Travers can face 24 batters. So far he has faced 21, so he's still okay. Won't get tired till next inning. Ryan can face 31, so he's good to go. And coming up for the Brew Crew, it will be John Briggs, rather. Ryan, 2-4, possible throwing error. 5-4, and that is against a right-hander. That's a ground ball to third, so possible throwing error. That's an 18, though. Third baseman, the new one, unfortunately for the Angels, is Rudy Mioli. He's a 20. So the fact, I mean, that play would have been made easily by chalk, but with Mioli in there, it's an E5. Go figure. Throwing error E5. Now, check the receiver, first baseman. In this case, that is Bhakti. He's only a 2, so this might get by him. No, it does not. So he will hold John Briggs at first base. Nice play by Bhakti to keep her from going away. And that'll send up Daryl Porter. Strategy roll for Ryan. Nothing happened. 4-1, strikeout chance, 14. Will get him. Will not get him, I'm sorry, 13, but -1 from the stadium's a 12, so Porter will swing. 5-1, it's a question mark 9 against a righty. It goes to 9. That's a 7. That'll be a double to right field. A double to right field for Daryl Porter. We know Briggs is going to at least get third base. Let's see if he can score. The double to right when California is in the field is a -1 factor. He's a 3, so it's a 1 to 2 to scoring. And he does score. How about that? So RBI double off the bat of Daryl Porter. Scores Briggs. The run is unearned. It is now 4-0 Brewers, and Nolan Ryan is not looking happy right now. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Ryan, 3-6. It's a strikeout chance. 12 will not get him. Garcia gets the swing. 4-4, and that's another question mark center field. Goes to 5. That's a 2. Boy, Nolan Ryan's catching some bad breaks. That's another double. This one from Pedro Garcia. Back-to-back doubles. And now the Angel bullpen's going to have to get busy. That is now 2 runs in. It's 5-0 Brew Crew. Back-to-back doubles. And some really tough luck there on the D20. Those D20 rolls for Nolan Ryan have not done him well. And that'll send up Charlie Moore, his first at bat. The bullpen activity for the Angels, they do have Mr. Lange throwing in the bullpen. Strategy rolls are now off. Ryan, 3-2 is a blank to Charlie Moore. So we go to Moore. 4-4, it's a single pass third base. So how about that? Pedro Garcia will have to stop at third, but the hit parade continues. And I think Nolan Ryan just kind of lost it. And they maybe need to go to the bullpen pretty quickly. Tim John, they do have one lefty, so let's see if they want to go to the lefty Scott. 2 out of the next 3 are left-handed, so I think they will go ahead and go to Scott. Nolan Ryan's going to be lifted, and they will go to Mickey Scott, a left-hander. The only left-hander in the bullpen. But you've got left-hander Johnson coming up, and then you've got Yount, who's a righty, but then Sharp behind him is a lefty. So they're going to make that move to the pen. And a rough outing for Nolan Ryan indeed. All right, no strategy rolls. Mickey Scott, infield's going to have to be in. They can't give up any runs and hope to come back. 2-1's a strikeout. That would help him, and he got it. So Tim Johnson out on strikes. Mickey Scott gets the strikeout for out number 1. I'm going to bring up Robin Yount. Yount has walked, homered, and hit a sacrifice fly. 4-3, and that is a star line. Star line right there. The infield's still in because they don't trust the double play. He's got a -1 double play rating. So it's a star line. What kind of star line is it? It's a fly to left. So that is out number 2. So this could be another sacrifice fly for Robin Yount. His sacrifice fly rating is a 2. Nope. Garcia's a 4. Left fielder arm is Collins, who's a +1. So anything other than a 6, and Garcia will score. And he does. So sacrifice fly for Robin Yount, his second sacrifice fly to left field. That will score Garcia. That run is charged to Ryan, but it is now 6-0 Brew Crew. So Ryan's going to be charged with 6 runs. And actually Charlie Moore is still his responsibility as well. But 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And that takes place in 5+ innings. So ugly outing for Nolan Ryan, to say the least. All right, so Bill Sharp will step up with 2 outs and runner at first. Scott, 5-5. Ballpark card. Haven't been to County Stadium in a while, so why not go back? So we got County Stadium for Bill Sharp. 4-4. It's another rare play. Go figure. Like the 3rd or 4th rare play we've had. Hopefully there's no injuries this time around like we had. We don't have so many injuries here, so it is a rare play with runners on base. Get a 26. 26 says, if run on first, ball hit the right side, strikes runner, runner out, batter credited with a single. So there you go. So it'll be a single for Bill Sharp, but it's going to hit Charlie Moore for the 3rd out of the inning. And Moore is out 3 unassisted because the first baseman's the closest player to him. So they'll credit Bhakti with the putout. A hard hit ball by Sharp. In fact, you could say it was a sharp line drive, but it hit the runner, and that's going to take care of things. But for the Brew Crew, they score 3 runs and blow this thing open. It is now 6-0. Officially in the inning, they got 3 runs, and out of the 3 runs, 2 were earned. They did it on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. All right, we go to the top of the 7th, 6-0, favor of the Brew Crew. Bill Travers enjoying all the run support he can get. Leroy Stanton is your batter. Travers, 3-5, and that is a blank. So Stanton, 5-5, is going to pop to second. 1 down on the pop to second. So Stanton is out of there. That brings up Rudy Mioli. He made that error his last time up. This is his first at bat since taking over for the injured Chalk. Travers, 1-1. We're going back to County Stadium again. A lot of trips to County Stadium in this game, as well as the rare play chart. Hopefully I did not roll a 2-3. 2-2. Boy, how close was that? It's a ground ball to short for out number 2. Almost went to 2-3 again. And I couldn't do that if I tried intentionally, so just the way the dice are running. All right. 2 quick outs, and it's going to bring up Bruce Bhakti, another left-hander. 4-4. 4-4 is a hit by pitch. He's a +10, so he will hit Bruce Bhakti. Surely that's not intentional, up 6-0. Just got away from him a little bit. And Ellie Rodriguez trying to add injury to the insult, I guess. Travers, 6-5 is a strikeout chance, and he strikes out Ellie Rodriguez to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. 7th inning stretch time here at County Stadium in Milwaukee, and the Brewers comfortably in front, 6-0. And we'll see if Mickey Scott is going to continue, or whether they want to go to a right-hander out of the pen. At this point, it may not matter. Scott can face 6 batters. He has only faced 3. So, but you do have 2 big right-handers, Scott and Aaron, coming up. But with the score 6-0, they're going to go ahead and let him keep pitching. Kind of late to be doing lefty-righty matchups this late in the game when it's 6-0. So, Scott facing Scott. 6-3, range play. 3-5, and that is a single to left field, but it is a range check of the left fielder, Dave Collins. His range is a 4. So Dave Collins takes the hit away. First good thing happened in the field for the Angels. They get the play there. On a successful range play, and here's Hank Aaron. 2-2, strikeout chance, and he got Hank Aaron. So, claim to fame for Mickey Scott. He can tell his grandkids he struck out one of the better hitters that ever played the game. Johnny Briggs is coming up. I wonder if they might go to the bench, because Briggs is not the best defender in the world. But actually in left field, they don't have anybody else any better. Mitchell's not any better. So I guess they'll stick with Briggs. Briggs has reached base on errors twice. Both errors by the Angels occurred when he was at bat. 6-4, strikeout chance 20 is not going to do it, so we'll go to Briggs. 5-6 is going to line it right to third base, but Milwaukee was able to handle that for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Mickey Scott, and they're going to cap him at that because that's now 6 batters, and he would be tired going forward, so that's going to be all for Mickey Scott. His day is done. We'll check on Travers in just a minute and see if he can keep going or whether he's going to be tired, and they turn it over to the pen. 7 innings in the books, 6-0 Brew Crew. Alright, so top of the 8th, let's see how many batters Travers has faced. He can face 24. He has faced, let's see here, whoops, wrong side. Travers has faced, actually he's faced 25, so he is tired. So they will go ahead and pull him. That'll be it for Bill Travers. His day is done. Yeoman work, 7 shutout innings, certainly qualifying for the victory, assuming it stays as a victory. And let's see what they're going to go to here. They're going to go to, well, they've been playing like a champion today, so they're going to go with Billy Champion out of the bullpen. So Billy Champion is coming on. It's not a safe situation, so there's no use bringing in your closer or anything like that. They will if he gets in trouble, of course. So Travers is going to go 7 innings, give up no runs. Let's see how many hits he gave. He gave up 4 hits. He walked just the 1. He did hit a batter. And he struck out, let's see, 1, 2, struck out 3. So unofficially, that's the line I have for Travers. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts, and a hit batter. And of course, he has the inside track to getting the victory. All right, so Billy Champion is on. He'll face Bill Smith, the shortstop for the Angels. Unless they want to, now that the right-handers in, they might go to the bench for some of their lefty hitters. Let's take a look and see. Who do they have that can play shortstop? Anybody left that can play? They have Lando Ramirez can play short. He's a righty. So they don't have a whole lot on the bench, to be quite honest. Tommy Harper's the best they have, and he's a righty. You know what? They're going to pinch hit for Billy Smith with Tommy Harper, and then they're going to have Orlando Ramirez is going to come in and play short in his stead. So that's all for Billy Smith. Might as well use the bench. They're there. You might as well use them. So Tommy Harper pinch hitting, and Ramirez will take over at short. Here at the top of the 8th at 6-0, you might as well try something. Desperate time calls for desperate measures. So Harper is your pinch hitter, and then Ramirez will come in and play short. So Harper pinch hitting here in the 8th against the new pitcher Billy Champion. This is a righty on righty matchup, but they need some offense. Champion 6-6 is blank. We go to Tommy Harper. 5-6 is going to fly to center, so Harper fails in the pinch. And Ramirez will now be the new shortstop going forward into the bottom of the 8th. Dave Collins steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 from the number 9 position. Will later be a quality leadoff hitter for the Reds. 4-1, and that's a double question mark against a switch hitter batting left, which is a 1-10 for a single. That's a 2, so Dave Collins gets himself a base hit. Single for Collins. Normally a good base stealer, but down 6-0, you're not going to mess around with that. So Jerry Remy will be up, and of course strategy rolls are off. 3-1, potential wild pitch, and it will be a wild pitch. That will send Dave Collins to second base. There's Champion uncorked it. 6-6 is a blank. We go to Jerry Remy. 2-3. It's a ground ball to second. That'll get Collins to third, but now there are 2 outs. And it will be all up to Mickey Rivers. we can get the Angels on the board. 6-6 again. There are a lot of 6-6s for Billy Champion, which is a blank. Rivers 4-1's a question mark 7 against a right-hander, goes to 14, but that's a 16, and that's just the kind of day it's been for the Angels. The Brewers were getting low D20 rolls on these checks. The Angels get a high roll at 16, so instead of a hit or an extra base hit, it turns simply into a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 6-0 Brew Crew. And now the Angels will bring out somebody to mop up here in the 9th. Or in the 8th, rather. Really doesn't matter if you're down 6-0. You can pretty much bring in anybody you want. So let's see who they might want to bring in. They're going to bring in Dick Lange. I guess it's pronounced Lange. Like strange. I don't think it's. I don't see any other way you can pronounce it. Lange is the only way I can come up with anything. So it's going to be Lange. So after Mickey Scott, we have Lange. Could be Lang, I guess, with the E being silent, but I don't know which is which. But it really doesn't matter at this point. I always called him Dick Lange. All right, so bottom of the 8th, it'll be Lange, and he'll be facing Darryl Porter, Pedro Garcia, and Charlie Moore. 5-2, and that is a walk plus. And so not a good way to start, as Darryl Porter draws the free pass. And that'll bring up Pedro Garcia. Infield, of course, at double play depth. 5-5 is a strikeout chance. 12 is too high, so Garcia will get the swing. 6-6 is a single pass center. How do you like that? Porter, let's see what they've got here. Single to center, you lose 2, so he becomes a 1. So let's see if he can make it with a 1. He does, so how about that? Let's see if Garcia can take the extra base. He does, so Garcia moves up to second on the throw. And just fundamentally, the Angels are falling apart. Probably should have just ate that ball and let Porter take third on his own, but they tried to get him, and it just didn't work out. And now runners are at second and third with nobody out. And the infield is in. Lang, okay, Lang like Tang. Maybe that's what it is. All right, so here we go. Lang to Charlie Moore. Infield is in. 1-6 is a walk chance. You might as well load the bases. Why not? Bases are now loaded with nobody out. And Lang may not be around long enough to worry about what his name is pronounced like. Here's Tim Johnson. 2-6 strikeout chance. 9 will finally get him. So finally one away. There's a strikeout Johnson. Now a double play would get him out of the inning. Yount's not a very adept at double plays, but it would be a 3 with the infield halfway. So they're gonna play for the double play. Lang, 1-6 is a walk, 19 is too high. Go to Yount. 4-5, ground ball to third, possible double play. Now we need to roll and see if it is in the hole, or let's see here. Runner, well, that just says run on first and second. It does not say that for bases loaded. So it should be a regular double play chance. Third baseman is Mioli. Let's see. Well, that's not even a factor. Double play is a 2. The pivot at second base is the factor, and that is Remy. He's a +1. So not only you get the 2 there, but with the halfway makes it a 3, and the +1 pivot makes it a 4. So 1-4, they turned the double play. And wouldn't you know it, they didn't. Runners are going to advance. Just the kind of day it's been for the Angels. Can't catch a break to save their skin. What looked like was a tailor-made double play actually turns into a runner advance via the D6. So the only play is going to be to first base, which theoretically in real life doesn't sound right, because in that situation You don't figure he would do that, but this is inside pitch, not real life. So next up is Sharp. Now there are 2 outs. Lang, 3-4 is a walk chance. 7 does not walk him, so Sharp will have to earn it. 5-2, he flies to center, and the inning is finally over. But the Brewers tack on another run. They add the extra point to make it 7-0 over the Angels. And for the Brewers, it's 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. So we go to the 9th, 7-0, favor of the Brew Crew. And Bill Champion will be on to mop things up. No sense wasting another pitcher. That's interesting, Brian B. I wonder why he dropped so bad like that. Must have had, I don't know how he gets his, what he does for, if he uses Baseball Reference or something else. Let's see. Yannis is your leadoff man, but he hit 186, so we're going to have somebody bat for Yannis for sure. We're going to have Morris Nettles. He's the highest average guy left on the bench. Egan hits 229. LaHode hits 214. So Morris Nettles, I'm assuming no relation to Greg Nettles. So Morris Nettles will be the pinch hitter for the leadoff man, Yannis, who is the DH. So Morris Nettles will give it a shot. Pinch hitting here in the 9th of a 7-0 game. Champion 2-3 is home run question mark against a lefty. It's a 0, so he cannot hit a home run. Nettles will swing there. 1-2, and it's a question mark 7 up through a 9 versus right-handers. That is a 3, so he caught a break. It's a pinch hit double for Morris Nettles. First time they got a good break on the D20 with a low roll, and it ends up being a pinch hit double. That'll send up Leroy Stanton. Champion 3-5, that's a walk plus. So Champion not boding well here. They may have to get more pitchers up in the bullpen just to try to wrap this thing up. Their closer is Murphy, so he is loosing it in the pen. Murphy had 20 saves on the season for the Brewers. He had 20 saves. He was 1-9, interestingly enough, the 4.60 ERA, but he did have 20 saves. So Murphy is in the pen and will come in if it ever gets to a save situation. That'll be how I decide if I bring him in or not. Rudy Mioli is up. 1-6 is a blank. We go to Mioli. 1-5, grounder to first, possible double play. He's a 5 double play rating. Wow, 5 double play rating. But it goes to first, so you don't get the benefit of the infield being halfway. The pivot at short is Yount. He's a 0. So basically, a 1-5, it's a double play. 6 runner advances. And it's a double play, 3-6-3. Morris Nettles will take third, but boy, that wipes the rally out pretty quickly. 3-6-3 double play. First time I've seen somebody, I think, with a 5 double play rating. That was really a shock when I first saw that. Here's Bruce Bochy, last chance for the Angels. Champion 2-3. That is a home run question mark, but again, against the lefty, it's a 0. So Bochy cannot homer. 4-6 for Bochy. It's going to be a ground ball to short, and the ball game is over. The shutout is complete. The Milwaukee Brewers whitewashed the Angels by the score of 7-0. And I'll do the totals for you as we wrap up here. 7-0 your score. Brewers won the real game, but I think it was 5-3. 6-4 rather. It was 6-4 in the real game. See, I know the Angels had 2 errors. Check how many hits they had. They have 1 hit in the 9th. And it was 6 hits, so no runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. So let's Let's move this over here where you can see it better. No runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the Angels. For the Brewers, 7 runs, and I know they made no errors. So let's see how many hits they had. They had 7, 8. I've got them for 8 hits. So unofficially, that's what I have as a line score. Brewers win it 7-0. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Brewers. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Angels. Winning pitcher was left-hander Bill Travers. The loser was Nolan Ryan, of course, no save, given the score of the game. So that takes care of this NBC game of the week. Next week, of course, will be in St. Louis. It'll be the Chicago Cubs against the St. Louis Cardinals. Rick Russell against Bob Gibson. We saw Bob Gibson on opening day, and he got trounced by the Phillies. So he's going to try to redeem himself against the Cubbies. He is going to be at home this time in St. Louis at Busch Stadium against the Cubbies. So he's hoping that he can do that. And then the rest of the schedule up until the All-Star break. The Phillies and the Mets will be the following week. And then back to the AL for 2 games, the White Sox and the Royals, finishing up with the Rangers and the Red Sox. And then at that point, all teams will be shown at least once. And then second half of the season, we can go for better matchups based on, I'm using the Stratomatic computer to sim the season. So whatever the sim is on that, we'll figure out what the best games would be on Saturday going forward. I've got them already pre-scheduled, but they're subject to change based on the way the standings roll. So next video will be a recorded video tomorrow night, the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball Game of the Week. It'll be from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. And it will be those feisty New York Mets taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, Brett Saberhagen against Steve Cook. And then sometime early next week will be the Yankees back in payoff pitch as they're taking on the Texas Rangers. They're finishing up against the Blue Jays. They lost both games so far, the Blue Jays. They got to play game 3, get that out of the way, but they're trying to avoid the sweep. And then they go into the weekend. I guess there's a bunch of rainouts or whatever because they can have about 3 days off, and they don't play until that Monday, which is a doubleheader against the Rangers. So I usually record the first game of the series, but I'm going to record the other game of the series. I'm going to play the doubleheader offline, or I might play the first game of the doubleheader and that's it. I don't know. But trying to record a doubleheader and payoff pitch is going to be just too long of a video. So I'm going to play one of those games, and then we'll figure out what happens after that. And of course, you never know. I might throw a Stratomatic Basic game in there somewhere along the lines, middle of the week, if I feel up to it. Standings, I've got them on the computer. Let me pull up Strat for you. My Strat computer, let's see what the standings are. I can tell you from memory that Oakland has run away with the Western Division. The Dodgers are actually, I think, a game up on the Reds in the West. And I believe the Mets are actually leading the NL East right now ahead of the Pirates, but it's a slim margin. Of course, they had a decent record in the real life at this point in the season too. So let me go to the standings here. Look at the National League standings real quick. Yep, the Pirates, the Mets are 36-24. They were 32-28 in real life, so +4. And the Pirates are 33-28, which is 4 games worse than what they were. So it's an 8-game swing. And the Pirates trail the Mets by 3.5, but we're still early. It's not even the All-Star break yet. And the Dodgers lead the Reds. Dodgers are 49-20. The Reds are 47-20. Dodgers are 10 games better than they were in real life. The Reds are 6 games better than they were in real life. But so, like I said, still very, very early. In the American League, look at those standings. The American League West is probably already over. The A's lead the Twins by 14.5 and Kansas City by 14.5. And Baltimore leads Boston by 0.5 game. They lead the Yankees by 1.5 games, and they lead Cleveland by 2.5. And now with Milwaukee's win, they pulled it within 6. They were 6.5. They were pulled it within 6, based on what Baltimore does going, the rest of this game. So a little early, but maybe the next video I can print off some stats or something. I was going to mainly do that after the All-Star break. Figured we needed some extra games to. Well, I appreciate that, RJL. I know you're the guru of the inside pitch stuff. So, but I mean, I know you got inspiration from Al Red Sox fan, and probably from Uncle Ron and ID Jester. There's probably a lot of guys that probably encourage you to do this. And certainly, like I said, you've taken the inside pitch and kind of made it your own. So, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly good. And like I said, you've been a good liaison to Chris for us. So you're getting some things to Chris that maybe we think, but don't feel like reaching out to Chris, or don't want to reach out to Chris and bother him because you know he's a private person. But so that helps a lot as well. So Tabby's being nice and quiet, so I totally enjoy that now. I think it's cooled off enough so I can finally cut this thing off, and maybe I got some less noise out there. All right, Brian B, you can do that. Like I said, the template will have all this stuff pre-filled, so all you simply need to do is, if you want, just delete the logos, and then you can delete the gray background or whatever and change the colors the way you want. But at least the width of the columns and the height of the rows are already pre-designed. And the one file contains everything. It's one big Excel file that I've got sub files within that one file. It's got the 75 template, it's got the 93 template, and it's got the Yankee template. It's also got my schedule for 75, my schedule for 93, my line score template that I use, which is this thing right here. That's in there. Print it all the way out. It looks like that, so that template's in there as well. Should you care, that's in there. So, yeah, email me that, and if I knew a way to somehow tie it into this video, I would, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not computer savvy. I know I could put some on Google Drive or something, but I don't really know how to do like Google Drive stuff. So I figured the easiest way to do it is go old school. Just send me an email, and I will get it to you pronto, and that way you can play around with it and do whatever you want to do with it. I'm doing it because I use this for videos just to make it easy for presentations. If I was playing this offline, I wouldn't go through all that, but if you guys want to, just to add some accoutrements to your gaming experience, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's see, is there anything else going on? Fortunately, I did mow the lawn Wednesday afternoon, so don't have to worry about doing that on Saturday. I do need to go and drop off our trash and stuff. That's about the last thing I need to worry about doing. And but I can do that anytime. It's only barely a little past 2:30, so I got the rest of the afternoon to take care of that, so I'm not worried about that. Later on this evening, I will be recording the Pittsburgh New York game on Replay Baseball for the Sunday night game of the week. I would do it live, but on Sundays I'm at my mother's house, so I'm usually there till about 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. and I'm driving home. So by the time I got home and tried to set it up live, it would be after 9 o'clock. Now I may start doing that once RJL starts his inside pitch season, or I may just set the recording to start after he finishes his game, so we're not going head to head. But and I think the quality of the video is better by doing a recording. I get the 1080p, and I can set up things exactly the way I want to. I've got that really nicely set up on my payoff pitch board. Everything's nice and condensed. I can get the cards in real close, and so I feel good about that. The only thing bad about recording replay is you can't see the charts, so you kind of have to go by what I say or trust what I'm looking up, whereas in this you can see everything. So again, inside pitch still one of my more favorite games, Brian B, I do have one for you. I don't know if you have the 1987 season or not on Inside Pitch, but for anybody that does, other than RJL, I would like to ask your opinion on something once you look into it. If you have the 87 season, if you don't, it's no big deal. I didn't bring the card with me upstairs, so I don't have it in front of me. But I know on their website it says that you don't have that one. Okay, that's fine. But I know it says on the website that in order to do left-right splits for either a batter or a pitcher, they have to have at least 40 batters faced or 40 at-bats against both sides of the plate. Now, has that changed or is that still the same? Because 40 was the magic number. I thought it was 50, but the website says 40. So I'm going to go with 40 because that's what the website says. But the reason I'm asking that is because in the 1987 card set for the Milwaukee Brewers, their closer, left-handed pitcher closer, Dan Plesac, had 50, let's see how many bats it was. Let me look at his PDF card real quick. I can tell you what he had. He was their closer. So let me pull this up here. Where'd you go? E7. There you are. So let me look at the Dan Plesac card real quick. Okay. Kind of hard for me to show the card on here. Oh, the card doesn't tell me. Duh, I gotta go to retro sheet and get this information. My bad. Let me go to retro sheet real quick and get the official number of at-bats. It was well over the minimum, put it that way. But he's rated as a cookie cutter card, which is a little disappointing, especially since he's the closer. And especially since he was so much better against lefties than he was righties. So let's look at the Brew Crew real quick and look at Mr. Dan Plesac. So in 1987, Dan Plesac faced a total of 296 batters, 239 against the righties, 57 against the lefties. Righties hit 230 against him, lefties hit a $140. Huge, almost a 100-point difference. So since he has 57 at-bats against lefties, I would think that would qualify him for a non-cookie cutter card, but his card is cookie cutter. It is generic. There are no splits on his card, and I checked with RJL because I just have the PDF. I don't have the printed set. RJL says his printed set is the same. So I'm not sure why it's cookie cutter. And I was actually 87. The 87 Brewers are one of the more intriguing teams in that era. And if I was ever going to do a replay on the 87 Brewers with Inside Pitch, I wouldn't be able to dominate the lefties the way Plesac did in real life. So it's a little bit disappointing, especially since it meets the thresholds. I can see if he had less than that, but when he meets the thresholds, you would think it would be not a cookie cutter. But I'm not going to go on the forums, and I'm not going to email Chris or start any brouhaha. I was just, pardon the pun, but just an observation I had. That's all. Otherwise, like I said, it's a great game. Even the little base running thing with the rundown, the cutoff. I mean, that was very, very interesting. If I do that more often, I'll get better at it. But the base running thing to me is what it makes this game excel, not what detracts from it. When you understand the base running, to me, it's a beautiful process, and it really factors in everything. You're not just dependent on double stars or whatever. You got to look at the arm rating, the run rating, where the ball was hit, and it just really, really is a fantastic mechanism. The only thing, like I said, was either where you don't have Johnny Briggs out of uniform, or you don't have guys that are cookie cutters. Those are the only two nitpicks I have against this game. Everything else, it would be a perfect 10 otherwise. Love the cards, love the card design, love the colors, love the game flow, love how fun it is. It's just those two little small nitpicks that takes it away from being a 10. but it's still right up there in, with my favorite games. So like I said, this game, Stratomatic and Payoff Pitch, they're all right there together. If you held me down to one game, I'd still say Stratomatic is my favorite, but only by a very slight margin over Inside Pitch and Payoff Pitch. And if I had to do one way or the other, I'd say Stratomatic would be a 10, Inside Pitch a 9, and Payoff Pitch an 8. That's how close they are. They'd be right there together as my three favorite games. Although replay baseball is sneaking up a little bit. I've really been enjoying the '93 season since I've been playing that. So anyway, I'm not a rambler. I don't want to really ramble too long on the video. The main part is to do the Saturday game of the week. I may, if I can figure it out, I may try to do some chats, like you've seen some people do, like the Replay Gamer has done, and like Dave Gardner's done, some others. I may try to chat with some folks if I can get my StreamYard and everything figured out how to do it correctly. I may look into doing that and see how those go over, as opposed to just always playing a game all the time. So I may do something like that. I don't know. But from here, it's 7-0 whitewash. Brewers take care of the Angels, take care of business, and take care of Nolan Ryan. And like I said, next Saturday, NBC game of the week will be at Busch Stadium in St. Louis for Bob Gibson and the Cardinals against Rick Russell and the Cubs. So that's good over from here. I got to get going and probably eat some lunch and take care of a few little small duties I need to take care of. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. And like I said, next video will be tomorrow night with the ESPN game of the week, Sunday Night Baseball, between the Pirates and the Mets on Replay Baseball 1993 style. Brett Sabragen against Steve Cook. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.